Welcome to Face It, the podcast by Skincademy, where we have real beauty conversations that go beneath the surface. We challenge beauty standards and we preach self-love. In honor of International Women's Month, this episode, Her Skin, Her Story, is all about personal skin confidence and the stories that we have. So I'm joined by two amazing guests. I'm joined by Lily. Lily, say hi.
Hi.
And I'm joined by Melanie.
Hi.
So these two amazing women are going to join me while we have a conversation about all the things that make up skin confidence and self-image and self-love. This is just the beginning. Join us every month as we have a new conversation and join our community. We'd love to hear your perspectives on what we talk about today. So to kick us off, ladies, what is one skincare myth that you completely believed in the past, but now you know is complete and utter nonsense?
Well, for me, Black people don't need sunscreen. Because we do.
We do.
So for years, I never put on sunscreen. I just thought I didn't need it. Only when I'm going to coast is when I believed we need sunscreen. But, as I got older, found out more about skin, I realized it is a necessity.
Yes, it is. I'm big on sun care glides. That is like my number one thing when it comes to all kind of skincare that you should think about. Sunscreen. Lily, do you have one?
I think the biggest myth, I thought you just needed to follow exactly what everyone else is doing. Until you find, sis, your skin is not about that life. Yeah, so you have to really find what works for you and for your skin.
Do you think you're closer to figuring that out?
I hope so.
It's a journey though, right?
It's
a journey.
It's absolutely a journey.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me ask you one more question. Sticking to things that we used to do and things that we do now, What's the most chaotic DIY skincare experiment that you've ever done on your skin? I know we've all done something. I also have my own personal stories, but what are yours?
So I have two. One, toothpaste on a pimple.
Hey.
So that it goes away the next morning.
Yeah.
Chaos. And then the second one, the turmeric masks. And then the next day I was yellow. So really, what were we doing? So I think for me, those are the most chaotic things I've tried on my skin. Yeah. Leave the kitchen out of your skin is what I usually say. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. I've also done the turmeric one, but I didn't turn yellow.
I was yellow.
That's a glow that they're talking about.
Yeah.
The yellow glow.
Yellow glow. Lily, do you have one?
The whole lemon thing on your face,
dear.
and then it's just, once it starts tingling, it's working. This.
You are burning your skin.
Like frying your skin.
Yeah, so definitely no for me.
I think let me give you one of mine. I've done many over the years, but mine would definitely be some kind of koroga in the house. I did some kind of like coffee, something, sugar scrub, but then I used it on my face. Like, I don't know who I thought I was. Because, you think like, oh yeah, if I go in,
you're getting rid of dead skin.
All the dead skin, and then after this, I'm going to be glowing afterwards.
Yes.
My skin definitely was soft, but definitely micro-test.
She was crying for help.
Oh, definitely. All right, then let's get into the main conversation. I want us to start talking about beauty and identity. I think everybody has their own kind of perspective on how they see themselves. But beauty is such a complicated subject because it's something that we're confronted with all the time. And as women, I think we are told there's a standard of beauty that you have to adhere to. You have to look a certain way to be presentable, to be digested and accepted by the world. So I want to just talk about how we view ourselves and kind of what thoughts are going through our head or have gone through our head in the past. So I'll just start off with a bit of a broad question, which asks you, what does beauty mean to you, and how do you think your definition of beauty has evolved over time? And we can start with you this time, Lily.
So I'll have a very controversial view. Beauty for me is exactly what I think it is at the moment. So I used to be very tomboyish, and I really did not care much whether it was about hair or my skin or how I dressed. And for me, I was fine. And so it's only what other people would see and would say that would then be an issue. But I'd wake up and look at myself in the morning and I'm like, let's do this, we're going. And I'd be fine. It was only what then other people were commenting that then would now start giving me question marks. So then now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, should I wear that? Should I not wear that? Should I be wearing dresses? Should I be wearing jewelry. For a very long time, I didn't wear jewelry. I just didn't like. So it was never an issue about, I didn't feel like they were beautiful. They were beautiful on other people, but not on me. Then I started wearing, like, now again, what I would see other people do, or I would see what other people wear. Then I just be like, I don't like how it looks on me. Yeah. And so my definition is, for that point in time, what I feel and I think is good and I look good in. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily copying trends. I'm not necessarily copying family or sisters or friends. Because then if you're copying, half the time you're not comfortable in what you are, how you look, what you're wearing, and it also projects on the kind of confidence you have even as a person. Yeah.
It's really powerful because I think that's at the heart of it, is showing up authentically
Yes.
as yourself, and being unapologetic about this
Yeah.
is who I am,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't need your validation
Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah,
inform
yeah.
who I am.
And I actually don't need to look like you for us to be beautiful or for me to be beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was a really deep answer. Okay, then I'll ask Melanie a different question because I think that was complete in and of itself.
Okay.
Melanie, have you ever felt pressured to conform to beauty standards, and how did that affect you?
Of course. I feel like as women, it's everywhere. It's in billboards, it's in TV, it's the shows we watch. I feel like we're always given pressure to be perfect all the time. So of course I felt pressured, especially growing up as a teenager. I had acne, so a lot of self-esteem issues there.
Yeah.
Just also backing up what Lily said, just people's comments along the way. You're like, okay, so am I doing it right? Am I doing it like what's working for me? So definitely I have faced pressure, especially growing up, whether it's pressure to be skinny, whether it's pressure to have perfect skin. There's always some type of pressure that I feel like we're always facing as women. But I think along the years I've just learned to just, for me, so long as I'm confident in myself and I'm doing what works for me, I feel like that's a better way to approach things. And standards will always change. I feel like that's another thing.
Yes.
So in 2024, this is the standard. 25, it moves to something different. So you can't really give yourself pressure from what you're seeing. I think you just have to do what works for you and just be confident in yourself.
Yeah. That's key. That's so key. And but while you were both speaking, I was thinking about, like, echo definitely what you said. I think I have been very influenced by external beauty standards and trying to match myself up to beauty standards that aren't necessarily what my community even considers is beautiful. Community as in my tribal community, my Kenyan community, my African community. I was very much looking towards standards that didn't even look anything close or remote to me, and which also messes up with your self-esteem and how you consider yourself. But we've all talked about kind of coming into our own and confidence and owning that. I also want to let, if there's any younger women watching, if you're in your 20s and you're just like, oh my goodness, I promise you at some point it will click. Like
100%.
I promise you, like when you're in your 20s, you're still trying to you're trying to kind of figure it out, but there's still that external pressure. I don't know what it is about coming into your 30s. I don't know whether there's something that your brain develops.
Yeah.
You're just like, actually, I don't really care. Like,
It's actually the weirdest thing I've experienced. And I used to hear women in their 30s say that. I used to be like, what are these women saying? But literally, it doesn't matter. Like all these things, it doesn't matter, and it gets better.
I
feel like that's what younger girls need to know. Like these things are so trivial. It gets better. Everything, the confidence, just life in general.
Yes. And I think maybe it'd be cool for us to have a conversation down the line with the podcast with younger women to kind of understand where they are. And also as a mum of a young girl who will at some point very quickly grow herself up to be like a prepubescent girl and then a full teenager. It's going to send me, girl. I don't think I'm ready, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, great. Let's then talk a little bit more. Let's get into now the kind of confidence. And you talked about skin conditions, having acne as you were growing up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and your personal experience and how it affected your confidence growing up, but also maybe what you think, are you still grappling with it now? Is there anything that you're still struggling with now as regards to that?
So definitely as a teenager, I feel like in that stage of life, I think who you are and how you look like is a big part of you. So obviously I was miserable. That's the time I was doing toothpaste and all these things to just make it go away. But then now in my early 20s, it started to reduce and it started to clear up. And I was like, okay, we're making some sense. Then I got into birth control and now my skin just it went left from then. And I remember it was during COVID. And I remember having to walk out of the house. I was like, thank God for these masks. Because at that time, my skin was doing whatever it wanted. But then, nearing 30 is literally when my skin cleared. Well, obviously, my skincare regimen improved. Now we have a bit of money. We can spend a little more. I also went through a stage where, so everyone's doing the ordinary. Let me get into that. Everyone's doing this. Let me get into it. So I went through a lot of experimenting. And then from there, I just found what works for me. And over time, I've gotten a simpler routine, which I think is now what works for me. And I think it's the reason my skin has become sort of normal now. Now I think I just have the occasional one pimple that we all get as women, time of the month things. But other than that, I think I'm good now.
Oh, you made it through
It's
to
the
the
best.
other side. Hallelujah.
This is the healthiest my skin has been
Ever been.
for years.
Oh my goodness.
So I know I'm happy.
How is that impacting your confidence?
100%.
Yeah.
Because you see, there were times where I couldn't leave the house without makeup. Whereas now I can live without makeup. In fact, I'll just use makeup for occasions here and there. But on a day-to-day, I don't feel like I need makeup the way I used to when my skin was problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Lily?
I didn't really have issues growing up, but
Must be nice.
Well, and this is what I mean, because then I would find it very annoying to always hear the comments. So I think for me, I blocked it out.
Okay.
So I don't vividly remember having any skin issues.
Yeah.
However, I remember noticing changes in my skin whenever I either ate something different.
Oh, okay.
So like fatty things, they show up on my skin.
Oh, really?
My face,
Even now?
yes. Even now, to a certain extent.
Okay.
If I exercised more or didn't, or changed my diet in some sort of way, I noticed. So I would quickly then be like, man, so I can't really eat this, I can't really do this. So I had a regular check-in, I think, with myself.
Yeah.
Without it necessarily being a factor of, is it, because I feel like, skin, you can't really do much. Like, it's from the inside out.
Yeah,
It's
literally,
just
yeah.
like, oh my God, today
That's
the
a
people
good
showed up,
point,
like, it's like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
want to eat this deep fried food, please.
You just want
Kindly.
chicken.
I'll figure out my
Yeah,
forehead,
yeah.
we'll figure something out. So, and I used to wear a lot of hats and capes as
okay.
well. So, I mean, I'd mask it very well. And because I just knew it's not something like I could lift my skin and just do like like a
Remove the
stove.
problem.
I'd be like, okay, this is what we did, this is what we need not to do, or this is what we did and we just have to live with the consequences.
Go with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and so not necessarily putting too much pressure on myself.
I think that's important.
And so, if I'm showing up with two pimples, I'm showing up with two pimples. I'm like,
And we all get pimples, so we
Yeah,
there's a time I just got a rash on my forehead.
oh dear.
I did not know what I did. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Then I was just like, oh my God, there's nothing,
God,
so because I didn't understand what had happened, I was just like, okay, I'm hoping this phase will pass. And with time, it just cleared. And I think, as you're saying, now I've come back to normal. So we are normalizing.
We're not, yeah.
Yes.
We're making some sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it makes some sense.
Yeah.
I have a simple routine, one that I can actually keep up with. And because of my work, wherever I am, I'm not feeling flustered that I don't have a specific product or that I didn't do a specific regimen.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I have a different story.
Okay. Let's hear it.
No, I definitely struggled with acne. I have oily, acne-prone skin. I've always struggled with textured skin, but also acne skin because my flare-ups on my skin are typically hormonal.
Okay.
So pregnancy sent me.
Oh dear.
So I think I'm still dealing with the consequences. She's a big girl now, but I think
Still.
I'm the residual recovering from just how bad my skin got at that time,
okay.
and relearning my skin with the hormonal shifts after giving birth and trying to understand what it does now and what it is now. I think also your skin definitely changes as you get older and you go through phases, the second puberty, third puberty, whatever it is. So I feel like as women, we're always trying to figure out what is actually going on. So I feel like I'm in a new phase of I'm almost there.
You're almost
trying
there.
to like lock it down. A few months ago, I was in the pits, but like
no.
now we're good.
We're out of it.
Yeah. But I agree. I think as we were saying earlier as well, you get more. Who cares?
Literally.
So you do show up, but I can't lie here and say that if I have a bad skin day that it doesn't impact me. So
yes,
it absolutely
100%.
does. Especially if I have like something important to do.
Yeah.
So I have like a big meeting or a presentation or an event, then I'm like, okay.
And you know, also I think when you look good, you feel good, and you show up as your best self. So definitely, I think anybody can relate to not being happy when your skin is not optimum.
For sure. I agree. Okay, let's talk a little bit more broadly about the concept of skincare, and self-love. Because I don't know about you, but for me, skincare is very much about the process of taking care of myself and nourishing myself and treating myself. But I know for some people, it's literally I need to get in and out and go. So I wanted to hear like your different perspectives on what skincare is to you. So the question is, do you see skincare as just about beauty, or do you consider it an act of self-care and self-love?
I definitely consider it an act of self-care and self-love. So on a day-to-day, I wouldn't do too much. It's in, out. But listen, once Sunday checks in, we are doing the whole works. We're masking, we're doing the serums, we're cleansing, we're doing everything. So for me, why I consider it self-love is because at the end of the day, you feel good. Like when you put on your robe, you've done your mask, you've done your serums, you just feel warm inside, and you know what you're doing, you're going to see results. So for me, I still think it's an act of self-love because just of how you feel after. I don't think it should just be like something you just do and go. Just enjoy the process. Because I feel like once you enjoy the process, you become more patient with your skin, you become more patient with the products you're using, and you start to see results. So I think it should just be a process of self-love entirely. Yeah.
Lily?
For me, it's self-care because then just because of the business I run, I have to sort of like intentionally schedule it. Yeah, so I'd love to be like you and just say Sunday, but Sunday rolls around and I'm out the door. So I actually schedule it and it's part of my care routine. And it's, the skin on my whole body. So I now understand skin on my body parts and how differently they react to products and how differently they react to like whatever serums or creams I'm using. There's one time I bought some again. Oh, you need to buy this. Yes, I know. So I bought some product and I just went home with it. And as I'm just doing my self-care, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, no. What was it? Yes, and it's only during that time then can you really realize what were you buying or for what intention were you having as you were buying. Sometimes you can just buy things, maybe they look nice or you're trying something new, but then you get home and you're just like, no. Yeah, you're just like, no, it's not gonna work. Now I intentionally look at ingredients. Now I know some ingredients that work for me, some that don't, some that I'm really not sure about, some that I'm staying away from. And I know those that I love how they feel and how they it cares. The ingredient cares.
It cares about you.
It cares about me. So it's more of self-care for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm probably somewhere in between.
Okay.
The two. I definitely, because I've been trying to relearn my skin now that it was going through this shift, I've been very intentional about having a set routine. And my routine is not the same every day. So it's not like I wait until the weekend to do anything particularly different. Actually, what I do every day is slightly different.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of different things that I'm trying to fix with my skin.
At once?
At once. So, one day will be for my retinol where I'm trying to do resurfacing of the skin and whatever. Another day will be targeted to getting ahead of the fact that I know that my acne is coming because my
Oh,
cycle is where it is.
I hear you.
And
Yeah.
if I give it 2 more days, she's going to start screaming.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
getting in some ingredients that kind
Yeah.
of respond to that. And then other days will be because my skin is very, very sensitive to any kind of marking. So, if it's injured in any kind of way, even on my body, like if I scratch
really?
myself, it will last for like 3 months.
Okay.
So yeah, so if I have a pimple on my face,
Yeah,
I could
it's
have
gonna last.
I could have the mark for like a really long time. So then I'm thinking about how do I lift the dark marks from my skin and making sure that I'm intentional about that. So where I am at now is I have like a regimen. Monday is different from like the beginning is pretty much the same and the end is pretty much the same, but I tweak out certain things depending on what I require for that day. Also depending on what I've done the night before. So if I've been really heavy on like exfoliating the night before, then I go in on like moisture and hydration the next day. And then always sun care, you guys. I know it's like a broken record, but like if you're not using a sunscreen, like it needs to be in your routine. So important. Even if you just do that one thing, I promise you'll realize something different, about your skin and how it performs.
Even with dark marks, I've noticed when you put sunscreen, it helps because you see when you darken in the sun, your marks also become darker.
Yeah. So if you're out here and you're doing your AHA, BHA, and you don't have a sunscreen,
girl,
make it make sense.
Talk to me on the side. Okay. I wanted to now just tap in on giving our audience some advice.
Okay.
Because we've all been through lots of different things. So what advice, given that we've gone through challenges of skin confidence and stuff, what advice would you give to women who are struggling with their skin confidence? And that could be anything. It could be because you have acne. It could be because you have this beauty standard that they're telling you that you need to adhere to, et cetera, whatever perspective you kind of view it on. Lily, do you want to go first?
Number one, you're going to try everything. So try it in doses. So buy the smaller containers or the smaller tubes because you actually have to figure it out. So my mom has really nice skin.
Wow.
My mom could have just salad oil on her face.
And she's just glowing.
She's fine.
Yeah.
And I wish it was the same for me. And sometimes it is. So I think sometimes I get mom skin and then I get others. I don't know what those others are. Because my dad also has really nice skin. Again, he could just put salad oil on his face and he moves. So you're going to try everything. Start with something, pick something, test it out. If you don't like the smell, if you don't like the texture, just it's gone. So that also then as you build your regimen, it's something you can endure. So I have a friend of mine who doesn't like the smell of eucalyptus. I don't know why. So don't have a product which you don't even like the smell of. Otherwise, it's going to be a task. It's going to be something that you dread to do or something that you're not looking forward to. And yet, the skin is the biggest organ and it's on your whole body.
Speak on it.
100%, yeah.
So that's one. Number two, be very patient. Be very patient with yourself. Be very patient with the product as well. I think you're supposed to at least give it, is it like 2 weeks? Like give it some considerable amount of time. Yeah. I mean, look at it every day. Look at your face every day. If it's anything on your hands or any other part of your body, continuously inspect so that then you're seeing the changes, you're seeing the effect, and you're just feeling the overall vibe. So that then you're making also an informed decision, not for others, also just for you.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Melanie?
I think what I would echo on is patience. I think especially with a lot of skincare, it says within 5 days. Good. Like
overnight.
Overnight. Just need to put it, sleep, wake up, it's gone. So I feel like you need to have a lot of grace even within yourself. Because I know it doesn't feel nice when your skin is not doing what you want it to do.
True.
But I feel like giving yourself a lot of grace and patience for things to work will go a long way. Number one. Number two, it honestly gets better. It gets better. It might not be perfect, but it gets better than the year before. It gets better. Or that's been my experience. It just gets better. So I think that still goes back to patience. Just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Hydrate. Like you said, it starts from inside. Water. Me, I'm also a firm believer that water does wonders. So I think just hydrate, finding the products that work for you, and just being patient with yourself. And I think things start to work from there.
Yeah.
I think that's the advice I'd give.
They figure it
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And then maybe simplify your regimen.
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying that.
Because I feel like sometimes people, consumerism, like you'll just go
Step
buy
one, step
10
two,
things.
step three, step
And I'm
four.
like, okay, now you simplify a regimen and then see what works and then go from there.
That's a top tip, actually. Top
Yeah.
tip. Please strip back your routine.
Yeah.
I often have to go back and then start again from
Start
just,
again,
just
yeah.
the basics. But if you can also, I would say, focus on hydration. So look for those nice hydrating ingredients, include them in and your skin will love you for it. Okay, how can we create a more positive and inclusive conversation around beauty and skincare? And I think this question can be looked at from so many different angles. So whether we're talking about inclusivity in imagery, different skin tones, etc., whether we're talking about inclusivity in price, because sometimes, we're out here telling you this product, and then I promise you, everybody who has any kind of skincare routine, everything finishes at once. I don't know how they conspire together. There's something that happens. They talk to each other while you're asleep, and then they're like, let's finish at the same time. And then
it's always at the worst time.
And then
it's always at the time where you don't have the money to just splurge.
Yes. Yeah. So let's try and think about this a little bit broadly so that we can give the audience something. So how can we create a more positive and inclusive conversation around beauty and skincare? You can go first.
Go first.
I'll go first. I'll talk about it from inclusivity and positivity. And I'll give this from my personal perspective. So I grew up outside of the country in a very non-Black dominated space. So there weren't very many people that looked like me. Also, there were Black people. I'm not saying that there were no Black people. I lived in a very multicultural city growing up. But even people who looked like East African was like, we were like, I always tell people, I feel like I was the bottom of the beauty standard. Like,
Girl.
the bottom of the beauty standard. And by that, I mean, like, there was white people, blonde hair, blue eyes, and then the various categorizations of what that is. And then there was like brown people. Then you got to the Black people. But I promise you, African people, African is sexy now. And I'm glad that we're sexy because we've been sexy and we're the blueprint. From time. Yeah. But in that hierarchy, I was at the bottom. So like trying to even conceptualize how I view myself and coming back to Kenya and then being like, hold on a damn minute.
I'm a painting.
All this time.
I'm a painting. Yeah.
Right? So then that kind of shift, still very much also, that shift was a big shift. And also still, because they tell you that the experiences that you have when you're young really formulate how you see the world and the thoughts that you have about yourself and so on. So I think why I'm saying this is I think that can be extrapolated to so many situations. So if you feel like you're not the standard of beauty, or you feel like, hey, my skin is too dark, I this isn't what people are looking for. First of all, let's start there with the dark skin thing, because to me, the most beautiful, darkest, beautiful skin is where it's at. Yeah. In fact, Lily is light. According to me, like that dark skin, the way it glistens in the sun, like it just looks radiant.
And they never have acne.
They
never have. I've never seen.
Because you don't see.
Get you dark. The shadows. We decided we were keeping that in.
Yeah, that was actually hilarious.
You don't see. Okay, but listen, according to the rest of us, what we're viewing is beautiful.
Yeah.
And everybody's beautiful in their own way, and everybody has something about them, which is the standard of beauty. And this thing that they say, like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, it sounds so cliche, but
it's true. It's true.
Beauty is in the eye. You're beautiful to somebody somewhere. True. Maybe you're just in the wrong place or the wrong place. Yes, I was in the wrong place.
You're in the wrong place.
Yes. In the wrong place, and maybe and you see, it's those people telling you what you should be or how you should be yourself. Yeah. But now that I'm very clear, or as I'm grow older and become more confident in myself, I define for myself that I'm beautiful, irrespective of whether other people are telling me I'm beautiful.
I think that's important.
Yeah, so just stand on that, and can't nobody tell you nothing.
I agree. I think I'd echo on that. Like you're beautiful in your own way, and all these standards that were put for us, it doesn't matter. You are beautiful the way you are. Yeah. So I think with inclusivity, this is what I think. I think now, I could be wrong, I'm not sure, but I think things are more inclusive now. Because I think when we were kids, it was always a white lady on TV or the lady doing Fair and Lovely. Was it Fair and Lovely or Dark and Lovely? Fair and Lovely. Fair and Lovely.
Fair,
Yeah. So I think now in advertising, we get to see different skin tones, we get to see different shades. So I think we're really improving, going in that direction.
Right.
I think,
Yeah.
So I think with inclusivity, I think we're doing well. I think with beauty and how you view yourself, just be confident. You're that girl. You're 100% that girl. So yeah, you wake up and you tell yourself that, and I think own it. Just own it. You're beautiful. Yeah.
I think, and shout out to Skincademy. All up for new companies and new product developers developing products for specific types of people. Non-greasy, no white cast, and all of those specifications that some of us who use products would want in a product. That's what I would really want, and I'm 101% rooting for. Because sometimes, again, what you find on the shelf, you're just like, oh my God, okay, I'll use it, but I don't like how it looks, I don't like how it feels, I don't like how it smells. Or after a while, it's funky, or it's and then my skin changes, and then now I can't use that product. So that's number one, what I'll be rooting for. And that's what I am constantly looking out for. Because maybe I don't use so much makeup and whatever, but still, I think shades and interpretation of use, if I can say that, because a lot of it is still very white, Western, European type of use. So then the more we get product developers who can develop it for sort of our Kenyan sun, our Kenyan winters, if we have any,
Barely. Yeah.
so then that makes it even more enjoyable for maybe somebody like me who doesn't necessarily enjoy the full scope of beauty products. You know what I mean? So then I'll be like, okay, this is something I can
Let me try. Yeah.
Yes, I can try this. I can last through this skincare routine, and it's not too much.
Okay.
So yeah.
Also, before we get inclusivity from an age perspective, did you guys see Pamela Anderson at the Oscars? Like, she's been going around of late without makeup, and she was like the beauty standard and the sex
Back then,
symbol. Like,
she really was.
Like, she was like one of the
she
poster girls
was.
for that. And she looks amazing. Like, she was at the Oscars the other day with a completely bare face, and she looked incredible. Like, she looked incredible. Like, age appropriate, not trying to like do all the fillers and the Botox. And I'm not saying that. Please, if you see me catching a Botox, but like not overdone.
I think it's because also we're so used to seeing, especially celebrities do lots of that. So I think maybe that's why this this is interesting.
Yeah, it was so refreshing. Yeah. And I hope that we can be allowed. It's for us to decide. I say allowed in quotes. But it's for us to allow ourselves really to show up. You take me as you take me, like
authentically, just authentically as yourself. Take it or leave it.
But I've been loving what Alicia has been doing.
Yes, because she's been doing that for a long time.
She's just like, you know what, I'm not gonna be doing all of that. And I mean, I love my made up Alicia Keys with her loops, but I find her more beautiful now. And the other day I was looking at her and I was like, oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful, because you see there's not much that she's doing,
like
that
it's not distracting.
Yes, it's not distracting, and I'm loving.
I think also what makes it better for her is she also struggled,
yes,
and that's the reason why she was trying to redefine beauty by going makeup free, because she was trying to cover up all her insecurities. So I think the message behind that is also really powerful.
Yeah. I think that's a great note to end it on. Thank you so much, Lily. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Happy to be here.
Yes, that was a great first conversation for the Face It podcast. We will be doing a monthly episode where we talk about all things beauty. Some of them will be conversations just like this, where we try and get into the head of our guests. Some of these will be talking to industry experts and giving you the insights from there. So please do engage. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Leave us a comment down below. Tell us about your skin challenges and what kind of confidence issues you've struggled with and where you are today, and encourage somebody else in the comments as well. Otherwise, see you in the next episode. Bye.